be a lawyer? Right. Yeah. Well, let me call you back in an hour. I gotta wrap up work, and then I could help out with the scanner thing. We can walk through it step by step if we need to. Right, I'm sure we can figure it out. I'll try to wrap up. Okay. Sorry, that was a crazy person.
You alright?
Me? Oh yeah, I'm fine. No, that guy's an asshole. Guys, welcome back to Jacob V Weekly. I want to start like we do every week by reminding you to check out Caddyshack of Hamel, Illinois. CATTYSHACKIL.org. Save a life or 9. I'm back in the kitchen of my dear friend Dan C. Roth. Dan, how are you today?
Hey, I'm doing well.
We meant to get together a couple weeks ago and then pushed it back and forth because we have some new music that we wanted to draw attention to and celebrate.
Sure.
The new song is called
Hey Friend, You Got a Light.
Can we hear the first bit of it? You got it handy?
Let's play it on YouTube.
I want to have it on
It's on
fresh on my tongue.
It's on every
Smoking pebbles from my pocket, this little rocket ship in my head will ignite. You gotta light, my friend. That's why I said, hey friend, you gotta light. I said, hey friend, you gotta light. And I don't know what I'm doing tonight. Smoking pebbles from my pocket, this little locket I pull out instead. With my pipe you gotta light, my friend. Hey, that's why I said, hey friend, you gotta light. I said, hey friend, you gotta light. And I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Smoking pebbles, singing mumbles from my mind. I don't need this world, I just need these dreams inside. Yet I need someone. That's why I said, hey friend, you gotta light. I said, hey friend, you gotta light. And I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
And that's Hey Friend, You Got a Light
Hey Friend, You Got a Light, question mark, yes.
by Dan C. Roth.
By Dan C. Roth.
On all of your platforms.
On all my platforms.
Is it also on Bandcamp?
It is, yeah.
So you could, if you were really cool and you really wanted to support local music, you could also buy the track directly on Bandcamp and then still listen to it on your favorite streaming places. But it's that's something I do when people drop a single. If I'm really excited that they have something new available, because it's $1. It's a whole dollar usually, at least. But it's like worth like at least $5 worth of feel goods about yourself. So that's something I do sometimes. But who played bass on that?
I played bass on that.
Oh my god, the bass track was the first thing I was like, hey, that's really cool. It's really standing like.
That was actually my first take.
Really?
Yeah.
Sometimes it happens with bass. Like
Yeah.
I've done that like where I've started a song and I don't have anybody lined up to play bass on it, so I'll just start bass like immediately after I'm done with the main guitars or whatever. And because I just did all the guitars, those are fresh in my head, and so I think the bass can happen really quickly sometimes if you're like that fixated on the song already.
Yeah.
I thought the track,
My friend
the bass
was-
track sounded really, really cool. It was the first thing I was like, oh, that sounds like it would be fun to play on bass. I thought it had to be a buddy or something just because of the.
He brought a bass over. I didn't even have one.
Who'd you record that with?
I recorded that with Tom Goring, actually.
Oh, cool.
Before we move on to Tom Goring, though, I wanted to say, what was the last thing the first thing we were talking about was the
bass track.
no, Bandcamp.
Bandcamp. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I have on my website is that I have free downloads, pay what you want, tip if you feel like it. But
Yeah.
you can just get them for $0, all on my website, all WAV files. So yeah.
Also an option.
Highest
That's
quality.
the lossless quality we've talked about on this show before. It's something that's kind of coming back. People are adding that now as bandwidth is starting to keep up. And DanCRoth.com.
Dan-C-Roth.com.
See, I remember
Because
there was something
otherwise
in
it
there.
would look like Dan Croth.
Did you say you had a DC? I forgot to.
I
forgot to start with that. I'm so sorry.
I was gonna ask you when I got a.
I just I didn't realize, but I've been smoking and talking.
I got two of them for you.
Oh, crispy.
It was meant to be 2 DCs.
To the dome.
I got just enough for a spliff. Keep me satisfied.
Yeah, I got a
My
little.
vape pen.
So my thing is,
Let's go back to. Could we go back to Tom Goring?
yeah,
He's
please.
probably gonna watch this.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah.
That's good.
He's-
Hi, Tom.
He's the guy that recorded the drums, and he played the drums at his own house. So first we started out with a scratch track to a metronome
Right.
on Bandcamp, and I sent it to him, and he added drums, and he came over and recorded me, and then after I was done recording all my parts to his drum parts, which was to me, he ended up re-recording drums again
Yeah.
at the very end over my recorded parts.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's one of my favorite things. If you never watched it, you should. Is Tegan and Sarah, friends of the show. They had an album called The Con, which was a huge breakout critical success for them. And one of the things is they had a DVD at the time, and most of it's on YouTube now, of the making of that record, because that record was produced by the guitar player from Death Cab for Cutie,
Okay.
and then their drummer, whose name, both of their names I forget, played drums on it, but they did drums last. They did like the whole record, and then the very last thing they did was drums. And it's a really fun part of that documentary series, I guess, is how it's posted on YouTube. Tegan and Sarah, the making of The Con. And sometimes, especially if you're working closely with an engineer who is kind of producing the translation of the composition to the recording, who is going to be really hands-on with instruments like that. Weird sequences like that will happen because they have their primary goal is to capture the correct thing and then add what it needs exactly.
He did like 6 drum parts. So
Yeah.
he started out with like 6 drum parts. Then he heard me play, and then his final one, he's like, oh, I was really feeling it once I had all your tiny little. It's even more detailed once you're not playing to the scratch track anymore. You're playing the thing over all the scratch track.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. And that's always hard for me too, because when I'm recording the final version of something myself, it's hard to know where the demo stops and the final version begins, and where, especially because I kind of like hoard digitally if I'm producing something for myself. I want to make sure I have every take of every track, and I kind of end up at the end kind of blending them a lot. I mean, my last song that I put out, Relics, had a lot of different bass tracks recorded at very different times and places, you know what I mean? With different, and so the end result is kind of a blend of very different things in time, but you got to be careful because you don't want to Chinese democracy that thing. It's really nice when something like what you're talking about, it's living in the relationship between like the engineer and the songwriter in that case, in which I think makes it happen quicker.
2 people is enough.
Well, it's plenty of people, but it also keeps it moving because it's like if it's a tennis racket, it could just sit against the wall. But when it's a beach ball being volleyed back and forth, it has to keep happening more actively. So he's like, I need your vocal track, and then you're like, what's going on with the drums? And then it keeps, there's like an accountability thing. Whereas when you're doing a Chinese democracy, like I was stuck doing with Relics for like 5 years.
I'm not sure what Chinese democracy.
That was the first Guns N' Roses record after Slash and everybody quit.
Oh, okay.
So Axl Rose spent like $11 million and worked on this record for like 15 years. And it's got like...
Did it ever come out?
Yeah, it finally did come out. But for
Before
years...
the St. Louis show?
Yeah. And so, but it's got like tons of different guitarists, and there were people that played on Chinese Democracy that were no longer alive by the time it came out. And it was... or maybe it was 11 years and $17 million. I'm not going to look it up right now. It's not important, but you should look that up. Is the catastrophe of the Guns N' Roses album,
Chinese Democracy.
Yeah. But there's some really great songs on Chinese Democracy. When you work at a guitar store for long enough, you'll meet people that will not let you live in slander of the record itself. There's some really beautiful guitar work on Chinese Democracy. It's fun. But also don't listen to me, because my favorite Guns N' Roses song is November Rain.
Oh, that's my favorite too.
No way! Okay, we're in good company.
Because of the music video.
Yeah.
When it was on the 90s, you had to stop everything you were doing and watch it for 6 minutes.
It was seriously, if November Rain would come on MTV2 or VH1 or whatever, when you're doing something around the house, you do stop like it's the national anthem.
There was a couple Michael Jackson ones.
Forever.
That Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson song, I forgot what it was called. It was like...
the video's like in black and white, they dance together.
Yeah,
exactly. I can picture it too. That's one of those moments. You're like, I can't go outside and wait for the bus. I gotta watch this video.
Thriller was another one by Michael Jackson. You had to stop and watch the whole thing.
Right. Yeah, it's like
plenty of them. Yeah.
It's like if you're just walking through Kmart or something, and all of a sudden there's like a poetry reading that erupts in the middle of the room. You're gonna stop to be respectful. It's like you can't. I'm not gonna shop at Kmart in defiance of brilliant art happening in front of me. Drop everything and do the dance.
Sometimes we had to watch MASH, So sometimes when the
it's not like TV was always great. Sometimes you're at the mercy of the junk. At the really bad time slots, even with 900 channels, sometimes you just end up watching an infomercial by Clee Irwin about a colon cleanse supplement. Clee Irwin, friend of the show. I spent forever trying to find out who he was, because I have his infomercial talking about better poops burned into my brain, because sometimes you're up at 4 a.m. and the Xbox controllers are all dead, and so you're just watching whatever's on, and it's Clee Irwin talking about colon cleanse. But it took me forever to find out his name, and now his whole thing is he's got a YouTube show about we live in a simulation or the multiverse or something. So
a new idea.
I guess his colon got so clean that now he's could break reality. Hard pivot, abandoned ship. So did you record most of those tracks here?
We Tom. So I did my scratch track here with this mic right here.
Yeah, sweet. Is that a Yeti?
It's like a Yeti. It just goes directly into...
Yeah, Jed from Kicks Row has a very similar thing that he loves. He does a lot of stuff with.
It's a TikTok Yeti, yeah.
It's a TikTok Yeti. Oh, I should have worn my TikTok vest. I have a TikTok American
I got it for
Flag is.
a really good deal.
Like it's great what happens out there in the streets. They
For
they have a
first-
camera like this that they're always trying to sell me. It looks just like this little one here, but it's any hoozle. But then, did you do the final?
We did
vocal
all
tracks
my
later?
recordings. So we started with vocals here.
Right.
So we started at noon o'clock when I feel like my vocals and just my whole self is.
Ready
I'm
to
kind
go.
of a morning person. I get up pretty early these days. I can't help it because I'm like 40 now, so it's like you just get up early.
Yeah, you gotta greet. I
Greet
think
the
we've
sunrise.
evolved that way because back when we had the Schwann's truck, I think you had to get the good stuff early before all the whippersnappers ate up all the snacks. I think you had the Schwann's truck out here. You've seen it drive by.
I'm
here.
not sure what you're talking about.
I remember we used to
an
live
ice cream-
over on like
Ice cream
Winona.
truck?
It's like an ice cream truck, but it's like meals. It's like refrigerated, prepared meals.
No, I've never seen that.
And it used to be, it's like home food delivery, but they used to kind of be in this neighborhood more. It's an older thing. It's like a, kind of crazy, but it's like a food delivery truck that was like beige. It had like a blue swan stenciled on it. And you could get like mashed potatoes or like desserts or like ice cream or like roast beef in like a refrigerated thing,
The old beef, the old
beef truck, guys. We used to.
I don't remember it. I don't remember that at all. If you lived in this neighborhood, but yeah.
It was. We lived over at like Burger in Winona. Like
I remember
just
ice cream trucks being.
but also ice cream trucks. And my favorite was ice cream trucks would do their round. You'd see the ice cream truck. You'd fight with your parents about the ice cream truck, and then an hour later, mosquito truck. Did you have the mosquito fogger over here?
I don't know. Another thing I don't remember. No, I usually remember a lot. So it's-
We had both of that. I remember as a young kid when we lived over there. So that would've been
Winona? You said Burger?
Yeah. Right by Lindenwood Park.
Okay, yeah, that's in the same neighborhood here.
Yeah, we're not far. A healthy person's walking distance is what I say. I don't know that
Yeah.
I walk it right now, but we every now and then you'd see the Schwann's truck and you'd see the mosquito foggers for a couple summers. Apparently those are back. They're doing them in Baldwin and shit now. Or Brentwood I saw this week.
Okay.
Which I thought we were done with that. I thought people decided we didn't like those. But what are you going to do? So, you started scratch tracks at noon that day?
Yeah, started scratch tracks at noon, and we got everything done in I think it was 3 hours. We got all my parts: guitar, bass, and vocals. Vocals were like the first 3 takes. The first take he didn't press record by accident, so I only got half of it. So he may have used the second half. I'm not sure, but he did the second and third take. So I got those on the first tries too.
Sweet.
The bass I got on the first track. Guitar was a little more. I had to, start the pick on the exact right string, the bass string
Right.
of the chord instead of I was only doing not the full 6 strings type thing. You know what I mean? I was doing 4 or 5 of the strings at a time. So I had to make sure all my picking was super clean to get on there. So that took a little bit longer.
That's the thing if I'm playing a riff or something for a long time on guitar and I really love it and I'm going to go record it, then when I'm recording it I start to notice all the slop that's in there that I have to work out, especially with this band. Like any of the extra scrapey or unnecessary kind of wishy-washy or anything I'm adding that's not actually what I intend for the part does not really come up until I try to start recording it. Because you listen to it differently.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? And so that's I don't dread recording guitars. I don't spend as much time on it as you would think. You would think I'd be pickier about it than I end up being in my experience. Recording things, because there's a balance between perfect and inspired. And so you want to capture a take that's early enough in the process that you can hear the enthusiasm still.
Yeah.
But so that means you also want to work quicker to work out the kinks and make sure there's not a part of it you're going to hate forever. So it's like a juggle. It's like a juggling act.
Yeah, I was actually catching up on recording. So like the one I did earlier with Paul Niehaus, that was earlier this year. Sometimes It Hurts to Say Goodbye.
Right.
That was like more like a folk style, which Paul was good at doing all like the upright bass and the drums and everything for.
Sure.
And organ. But what was I gonna say about that? That was, I forgot what were we talking about? Sorry.
No, we were talking about when you record multiple takes of something and you're trying to get it right where you like it, but you don't want to drag it out for too long.
Oh yeah.
So you recorded with Paul.
Yeah, so I've that was one that I did where I had like a backlog of songs where I had the song already for like 2 years. And Hey Friend, You Got a Light, I've actually had it longer, but it's picking up steam with the live act because it's everyone's like favorite live song. Sorry about the mental.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. It's so much to go through. So let's talk about that. So upcoming, I saw you have new stickers for something.
Yeah, it's a new band of mine.
Yeah.
It's called RC4.
RC4. That way I don't want to get it wrong.
RCIV is how it's spelled. RC space IV.
And
but it stands for River City 4. Yeah.
And so it's 4 dudes.
4 people. No, there's a woman on.
Oh, I just
violin.
meant instruments. But yes.
Yeah.
So violin.
Well, dudes, yeah. So
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm one to say.
I mean, I meant in the good burger sense. Like I'm a dude.
I call
She's
everyone dude, so I should.
No, we should clarify. Violin, bass, and drums.
Violin, bass, and me and the guitar player switch between djembe and acoustic or electric guitar. So
upright bass.
He does play upright sometimes, but he's usually playing an electric, like for smaller rooms. Yeah.
My friend Alfred.
He's got like a giant upright bass. It's like extra big. I forgot what the name of it is, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit extra.
Yeah, I'm hip. And so there's a gig coming up that those stickers are debuting for. I thought I read.
No, we just had our first gig, and we were having people asking for stickers already after the first gig. We played at LB, and that went really well. It was really sweet. Everyone had a great time. LBSTL, that was cool. It was a big party. Yeah, there was like 5 bands, and my friend was there. He said we were up there at the top with the rest of them. So that was pretty cool. He was there like the whole time. I mean, I had to leave at like 10:30. We were the first band, so I'm like,
that's hard for me. I miss a lot of good parts of shows that way. Just like, especially if we play early, it's easy to be like, okay, I kind of gotta get out of here.
I miss my youth was wasted on me not having songs yet. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I had to keep writing the whole time. So now that I have the songs, I can't even stay up till 2 a.m.
Right. Right. That's funny because now that I mean, I could stay up all night and play and whatever like before, but now I have so much more I could play, and I don't have that same stamina quite to dedicate to it. I did grow that later in life, doing the cover thing for a long time. You know, I got to really fight through some gigs where we had to play for a really, really long time, and so I got good at that. But but in general, I'm not seeking that out. You know what I mean? I think one time we did like 5 hours or 6 hours on like a dam in like Lake of the Ozarks at some guy's house for his 60th birthday.
6 hours?
We played. They had booked us originally for 4 sets, so that's 4 hours with like 10-minute breaks every hour or whatever. And then they kept offering us more money to do another one and then another one. So we were there like all day, and then I drove back that night.
Oh man!
After playing outside for that long, but it was a beautiful day, so it wasn't like brutal in that sense. I was actually probably wearing this exact shirt.
But I guess you weren't drinking at least, right?
No, no. Even if
you wouldn't have been able to do it if you were.
No, I never did that as much of that when I was drinking. I really realized when I quit drinking how much easier it was to play music for long periods of time because I was like getting fucked up just gradually or. or not so gradually.
For sure.
Because there are some gigs, I'd play 45 minutes and then get absolutely obliterated drunk like it was the end of the world. And so I always felt like, well, I could never play for 3 or 4 hours. I was like, no, that's not true. That's not the part we need to cut out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, some of those gigs were crazy. Like, I think we did a car show for 5 hours one time. Sometimes, like, weddings, if they start early enough, they can drag this out, especially if people are throwing money around. I mean, because if the singers are like, I'll do it, I'm like, I'm not gonna. What am I gonna? What am I doing? You know what I mean? The material for that band, is it mostly Dan C Roth stuff?
No, we're
you have your own stuff.
Me and the other guitar player, we're both switching lead. So he's kind of the main stage leader, actually. Mm-hmm. He ends up alpha mailing me a little bit, but we split. It's like half my stuff and half his stuff.
Yeah.
He ends up doing covers. I don't do any covers myself.
Well, and that's what you're talking about, is having enough of your own stuff to draw from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do like doing a blend. I do like, there's certain songs that in certain contexts, it's really fun to be able to pull them out and in a cover sense or whatever. But also, by now, doing this for long enough, you have enough of your own stuff that it's like, well, we might as well do some of that, and then we can keep all the YouTube revenue or what have you.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. What's that?
Can I play the Paul song?
Yeah, please.
This is also a new single that we were just talking about. Hold on, there it was. My bad. This was
I wanted a guitar on my trap beat. I don't play guitar, but here's how I got it anyway. I've been trying to get this guitar sound.
Sometimes it hurts to say goodbye. Sometimes there's a teardrop in your eye. Sometimes you get closer till you just break apart. Sometimes there's a teardrop in your heart. Yeah, sometimes it hurts to feel goodbyes. Sometimes it'll hurt you till you cry. Sometimes there's a letter that just says goodbye. Sometimes there's a teardrop in your eye. Yeah, sometimes there's a person that left so you go. Sometimes there's never another yes but no. Yeah, sometimes it's sad to say goodbye. Sometimes there's a reason that you cry. Sometimes there's a note that you could have wrote long ago. Sometimes there's just a reason why. Sometimes you crash until you burn. Sometimes there's a lesson that you learn. Sometimes there's never another goodbye. Sometimes it's just tough to say goodbye. Sometimes there's a person that left so you know. Sometimes there's someone way back long ago. Yeah, sometimes it's tough to say goodbye. Sometimes it'll make you have to cry. Sometimes there's a time when you will finally get the reason why. Sometimes sometimes it just hurts to say goodbye. Yeah, sometimes it hurts to say goodbye. Sometimes it hurts to say goodbye.
Woo! So that's actually my only sad song.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I have maybe another one, but it sounds like a 60s, like, you know, it doesn't sound sad. That one's the only sad song I have that sounds like it's a sad song in a way, you know. It's not like decorated too much. It kind of sounds like, yeah, this song's kind of a downer. You know, it's kind of like that way. But that's pretty much, I say it's my only sad song. I have one called like I Will Be in Love with You, but it's not really sad. It's just more like obsessed with the girl that broke up with them or something.
Yeah, and I think it's an important part of processing those things. I've had to come to terms with, I think my attraction to composition has always been trying to recreate the way really great composers or songwriters or singers have used something really tragic to create something like beautiful and timeless.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like...
You didn't look at me inside.
I was trying to picture what I was trying to say. I didn't want to fuck it up. You know what I mean? Because the worst thing is being like, you know how, like, Whitney Houston, and you cry? You know what I mean? Like, you want to be more eloquent than how it just sometimes comes out the first time. Because that's the thing, too, is like, sometimes you don't even really know what parts of it are supposed to mean on their own, but you know it's conveying like an emotion that's important. So we dabble in the sad sometimes because it's necessary. It's our duty.
I've dabbled in the sad plenty of times.
Yeah,
but
more often than I'd like. Certainly more often than I would care to count.
My songs definitely usually come out optimistic though, so that was kind of my only one that was kind of unique like that.
Did you play all the guitars on that?
Paul played the electric. I played acoustic.
That lead, the vibrato on that lead was really cool.
Yeah, that was Paul.
Genre-wise, I was having this not argument. Matt and I were talking about the argument that happens sometimes when you try to talk about genre or whatever. But in just recommending things to people, sometimes it's helpful for them to like picture kind of what ballpark they're approaching when they go listen to something. So I recognize all the instruments and a lot of the historical influences and why some of those instruments choose to sound that way, and kind of what that's based on. But would you call that Americana?
I would call that one Americana or folk. Yeah. Basically, or kind of country, but kind of Americana. I would say Americana.
I think folk is totally fair too.
Someone called it folk the first
a lot of them,
time I showed it.
Both of those are charted kind of together a lot of the time.
DC in the house.
Gotta crack it. And I've done some work with that. Actually, that gentleman that called me before we started is a aspiring country singer.
Okay.
So, amongst other things, I've helped him do some research in how to connect with different like radio promoter professionals.
Okay.
And to end up on different like up and coming charts for different things. And so one of the things you have to look at is, okay, if I want to hire somebody to get my song in front of radio people to end up in this magazine, right? How do I do that, right? And so you have to kind of pick a lane. There's like folk Americana has a lane, and then there's like a traditional country lane, they call it. And then there's like the pop country thing. And the pop country thing's like the most expensive, you know what I mean? But it's also for an up-and-coming independent artist who really has a commitment to a more ironclad, historically steadfast genre. those people have other places to go. That's not like they're not trying to compete with the Luke Bryans and the Jelly Rolls of the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so you start to see, and there's charts and magazines and websites and stuff that do awards for gospel or all different types of jazz or whatever. And some of that is linked to like academia, and there's like institutions that kind of support that stuff. So it's I don't know. It's so interesting. You spend enough time trying to support people that make their own music, that you kind of learn things like that you didn't know existed. But it's part of something you and I have talked about before, because you explore a lot of creative ways to promote your own music online and whatnot. We've talked about on the show last time, I think. And do you find that you have to do that a lot, that you have to kind of pin yourself down to a genre for a specific output?
Well, that was my song from earlier this year, and it was Americana, and my new one's alt rock grunge style.
Yeah.
So I used to try to do retro music, but now it's like, is it really retro if it's the first genre I grew up with when I was a kid, in this time that I grew up as a kid?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And
it's not really retro to me, but it's like just going back to my roots, but with the alt rock. But yeah.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like when you hear something that you remember when it came out, but it's on a classic rock format somewhere.
Yeah.
You're like, excuse the fuck out of me. If you hear like something that you listened to when it was new as a kid, and it's on something somebody might call oldies or classics or something,
I've never done that yet, but I've heard it existed.
Yeah, that'll happen to people, and it's not fun. And we may be young enough that it's not quite happened to us as much yet, but as it were. So,
but yeah,
You've had a couple shows here.
I do house shows.
Yeah, you've done a couple of those with, didn't you have a series of Susies over one day?
Yeah, we had 3 different Susans.
That's fun.
All 3 acts had a Susan in it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And so...
Of different forms of Susan. Susie, and Susan. Yeah. I
remember one time one of those Susies and I went to Fred Friction hosted the open mic at like the Iron Barley.
Okay.
Back in that day. I would have been like 19, so this could have been like 16 years ago.
Okay. I was there somewhere around
Chippewa Chapel? Is that what that was called?
I do remember Chippewa Chapel.
Because I think
I don't remember where that was though.
I think after like the original Chippewa Chapel open mic, I think it moved to like Iron Barley, like the basement of Iron Barley for a bit.
Okay.
I've been wanting to try to find him to have him on the show, because I haven't seen him in so long, but I don't think he does any kind of internet anymore. Apparently he sells burgers or something.
I don't know. Fred Friction?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't seen him in a few years now.
Yeah, I don't think many people have. I mean, he's out there doing something, but he's just kind of given up the internet, which I don't blame him. That's just what I've collected. When did you start kind of doing open mics and stuff locally, or like doing your own shows?
I guess after I left college, I was in jazz school at Webster.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I left there, I kind of decided to become focused. It was like jam band music at first, so I'd play like Pops Blue Moon, pretty much.
Yeah.
I didn't have too many gigs, and then I worked on songwriting. I didn't really have a bunch of songs till the time I turned 30 was when my first album that I started writing in my 20s finally came out.
Yeah.
It took me like 10 years of trying to write to finally get.
But were you playing for or with other people in that time?
I had like Dan Roth and the Broth at one point. I had Dan Roth Band before that, and just like none of it was like very good, or it was just like.
But you had to cultivate that experience. I mean.
Yeah. I had to get
going.
Yeah.
That's something that we've been kind of talking about on the show. I had Matt Basler on and Tim McAvin on recently from Karate Bikini, and we were talking about how so much that's important about the kind of music we like to make or like to enjoy is about it all kind of happening out loud in the room kind of at the time, and how important that part is. And so one of the things I've been talking to people about is kind of when they first started to do that. And that's what you're talking about, is because in an academic sense, you don't really get kind of a free, prolonged experience of creating the music out loud in a way that you get to explore and see what it feels like. So that's what you were really doing in that time.
Yeah, I started out with like
Just cultivating that experience.
Jam bands, but then I remember my dad's cousin, so that'd be like my second cousin, got me into Elliott Smith, so that was really cool. And
so that kind of gave you a road to
like
apply
a songwriting,
direction to go in.
Yeah. So I remember being like liking his
beacon
singer-songwriter
of inspiration.
Style. Yeah. So that was a cool thing, and plus he was Beatles inspired. Somehow I got into the Beatles, had this big Beatles fixation for a long time.
Tim was saying that. Tim McAvin from Karate Bikini, friend of the show, he was on a couple of weeks ago, was saying his kind of first approach to participating in music was as a kid, having Beatles records that he would listen to over and over and over again in their living room on their hi-fi, and he would crank it up real loud, and he would sing along with it and listen to the echo in the room. And that's the first time he kind of had the opportunity to participate in music happening. So it's
I started earlier than that though. I started in like 5th grade. I started playing. I played the talent show at my school. Speaking of Beatles, I played Here Comes the Sun, the Harrison song, of course.
You're kind of you like the George Harrison.
I like it all, actually.
Yeah, me too.
Ringo's my favorite.
Ringo's your favorite? I saw the Ringo Starr All-Star Band at the Fox in 20...
It used to be Paul, but now it's Ringo. But it was George before Paul, so it never was John, though.
My stepdad loves George Harrison.
My dad's favorite would be George Harrison too, probably. Yeah.
And so there is no George Harrison slander in my house.
There's none.
I think he's an underappreciated genius, and but that was why he let himself be so underappreciated, is because he's such a sweet guy.
Favorite solo artist is George, though, of course.
Yeah, some really great stuff. Even in the 80s, some of it, of course, is kind of goofy, but it's fun.
But I still think my favorite Beatles, just to be different, is Ringo, because he had the best attitude. He's gonna live the longest, probably, and just like.
Well, I think
just had the best time. So if you had to be any Beatle, I would say be Ringo. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, what do I care? I got to, what do you mean? Oh, maybe I'm the 4th most highly regarded Beatle? Is anybody else a Beatle? It's Ringo Starr, Billy Preston, and then The Cliff is a nosedive.
It's tea time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It's like, what? Oh, people don't think I'm as good as Paul McCartney? Oh, no. What am I going to do? He's like, it's like the Dave Chappelle meme of he's wiping his tears with money. He's and he definitely, I think, had.
That's why he's the best, though.
I think he had the best sense of humor about it too. Like Paul McCartney is said to have kind of an air about him. Like he understands how ridiculous it is for a person to be Paul McCartney, and he understands the effect he has on people, so he comes off really sweet or whatever. But Ringo is a genuinely not aggro dude at all.
Yeah,
in a way that it's like it makes him likable. It's like he's not like, he doesn't want to be a genius. He's like, I got very, very lucky, and I got to do some really cool stuff.
His vocals were great too, so yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
And his drums were sweet. He'd be ripping on those live shows.
I used to really love Octopus's Garden.
Yeah, me too.
I used to blast the shit out of Octopus's Garden.
I think that was the first one I learned on guitar, actually.
Yeah, because the guitar's got that cool reverb thing.
The intro riff and all that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I gotta learn that. That'll take me 6 months to figure out, or whatever. It's funny the things I used to shy away from. That's gonna be too hard. I remember my very first bass lesson my guitar teacher Jim had no idea like how much time I had spent with the bass or not yet, so he wanted to start with When I Come Around, but he tabbed it out like to the record. So there's pull-offs and hammer-ons and shit, and this is my first bass lesson, so I'm like, oh yeah, cool, I'm gonna work on that. And then I was sick all week. I'm like, Jim's gonna get mad, I don't think I can play that yet. So there's something to say about that whole thing.
Yeah.
Did you play much before college?
Yeah, I started in 5th. I think
That's
we
right.
just mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah, but on guitar.
Grade and I started on guitar. I was like me and my twin brother both started. He started in like 6th grade, but like he was like Trey Cool. I was Billy Joe.
He started drums.
Yeah, he started drums in 6th grade.
It's such a great thing.
I taught him his first beat, so I like kind of, like made him play drums type thing.
Yeah,
you gotta play drums.
Listen, you're stuck with me anyway, so you might as well pick up a tambourine. That's kind of how I kind of wanted to be a singer already, but then my best friend started playing drums when we were like in 7th grade, and I had a guitar, so I was like, and I think we talked about this last time, but that it came up last night that Matt and Brian started kind of at the same time because Brian's guitar teacher was like, we should just make your brother play bass, and that's why Matt started playing bass. And so sometimes that's like a gift. It's like it's like I'm glad
he's proud of it. He doesn't have much of an ear. My twin doesn't. It's funny because I'm a musician, but he's a little tone deaf. No offense. Well,
as a drummer, he doesn't
sing back.
That's probably how that happens. You do enough reps, and you start to ignore the tones. If you're as a drummer, if you had to get uptight every time something's out of tune or somebody hit the wrong chord or something, which I'm known to do, sometimes I'll just start making up what the changes are going to be. I watch too much of organ players on TikTok at churches, like these Pentecostal churches where somebody will be talking and there'll be a little music happening and they'll go, wow, and they're like, oh no, and they go, bah, 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 and they'll start like a praise jump like thing. Are you familiar with this?
No,
it's
not totally.
There's like a black Pentecostal movement of like church musicians on that all have TikToks and stuff. They're either drummers or the organists are my favorite usually, and they'll just start making up a climbing chord progression, right? But then if I'm using that as my inspiration for my organ sound in a band, like Blinded by Stereo that I play with, sometimes I mess up and I start just adding crazy, unnecessary, distracting chords on top of something where that's not actually the part. And so there's a discipline that you got to be aware of, but the enthusiasm is there.
Intentional random notes.
Yeah, and so as a drummer, if I was distracted by that kind of behavior, that would be exhausting. It's like in the new Spider-Man where his senses are evolving, and so New York City is too noisy all of a sudden. Did you see the new Spider-Man?
I did not. I haven't seen the movie.
I think it's brand new. I know. I hardly ever go to the movies. I only went because I got invited the other day.
I don't even have a TV here, so the most I get is YouTube on my computer or my phone. So.
Yeah, I get a lot of that. Happening. I usually leave some kind of documentary on Amazon or YouTube on my PC in the background while I'm working on other stuff, either playing guitar or moving furniture around. I just kind of move piles of junk around sometimes. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's part of my process. It's like those puffer fish or whatever that build those like elaborate seabeds of rocks that they collect to attract mates. Have you seen this?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, see, that's one of my favorite things. I like to think about, sometimes I feel like that's what I'm doing. I'm just leaving cans of Diet Coke around the house to, attract other mentally ill people.
It's better than natural light, I gotta say that. But you're doing better than me.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is when people say, you gotta quit drinking so much soda, I'm like, you don't know what this used to be. You don't know what you're saving yourself from by letting me have several of these. So
I need to get Natural Light to sponsor me pretty soon.
That would be good. My wife's uncle goes through quite a bit of Natural Light.
Yeah, it's easy on the stomach for me.
It's a Weight Watchers friendly option. If you have to have a beer, I remember Natural Light being lower in the options for points if you're into that kind of thing.
It's 4% or so.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah. My problem was, I remember one time we were doing a gig that got rained out, so we had to rush all the gear back into the cars as the cyclone vortex moved in, and then I had a cooler full of Mick Ultra. I had like 15 of those Mammer Jammers, and I couldn't catch a buzz. Not to save my life, and I didn't smoke weed in those days. So there was nothing to get me across the finish line. I was like, we don't have any. Fireball hadn't been invented yet. That's how long ago this was. Maybe that's not true.
I'm double fisting cigarettes over here.
You gotta keep it. You gotta keep that thing going to ward off the demons.
This is an interview, you know what I mean?
The demons can't get me when I'm diffusing my lavender. You know what I'm saying? I've always said that.
We have the candle. Let's bring that over here.
Oh yeah, that helps. That helps. That's uplighting. So on the range of instruments you typically plan on adding to a new song when you're putting it together, what do you kind of pull from? Do you always expect to have like a full drum kit on a record like that?
For studio, yeah, probably with my new band we won't, because we'll probably just kind of replicate what we do live.
That's part of what I was thinking. But for like the
for recording usually though, yeah.
And then bass, what bass is that you usually track that with?
I'm using Steve Ariola's bass right now. That's an acoustic bass, but I didn't use that for my recording. My friend borrowed one and brought over I forgot the name, SR, something like that, SR or something.
Yeah.
Sound Gear.
Yeah, it's Ibanez.
Ibanez, yeah.
That's what makes that. Yeah.
You brought over something like that.
Yeah, those are really great for recording because you have like usually the active preamp on those, so you can kind of mess with it and dial in kind of what you want.
Sound Gear SG.
Yeah. And my thing is, I don't spend enough time, like, as much as I'd like playing bass, because I kind of keep it for that utility kind of purpose. There's usually a bass guy. It wouldn't make sense for me to play bass full time, but it is so much fun when you have an opportunity to kind of.
When I nailed it on my first try, I was like.
That's what I'm talking about too. Is like sometimes it comes together so quick. It's like, oh, it would be kind of fun to play bass for a little bit longer.
Yeah. I would think I'd be letting myself down if I was in a band again as a bass player, but I think I'm
starting to get really sick of like the one bass sound.
The one note at a time.
Yeah, it's like I don't understand why people have 4 or 5 strings and and that whole thing. And then usually an acoustic guitar and some electric guitar. Is that still on the recordings? Are you mostly on the Gibson?
On the Sometimes It Hurts to Say Goodbye, I just used one of Paul's acoustics. I don't know what it was, but I don't know if I've used that Gibson for recording yet.
Oh yeah,
it's just my live one right now.
I just try to picture that as much as possible. And so
I figured he had newer strings, so I'm like, although I probably didn't play it as well because it was his guitar instead of the one I'm used to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I still used his because I had newer strings. So
yeah. So what's on the horizon? Do you have a couple more things in the can you want to get cut and put out, or?
Yeah. I'm working on my rehearsal space here at the house, actually.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much any day of the week. Usually, if I got that booked, I'll prioritize that. Anything that's paying me gets prioritized.
Sure.
So I'm just a musician, just doing only music stuff.
Yeah.
So I just released an ebook too, called The Spiritual Secret to Writing Better Songs. Sorry, The Spiritual Secret to Writing Better Songs. Yeah,
that's on your website.
That is on my website too. Yeah, Dan-C-Roth. And then, so is my website's like jam packed with stuff. So
I love that. So what brought you to
rehearsal space? We got, and then what was the other thing? Was I don't know. What were you gonna say?
The ebook. What led you to do the ebook?
The way I the way I sort of pray when I write something, anytime I get in a jam,
Yeah.
I usually pray that the universe kind of reveals it to me.
Yeah.
And and it doesn't work unless I'm like super like, I blame it on myself if it doesn't work. So I keep trying it till it works. You know what I mean? I feel like maybe I just wasn't completely genuine when I asked or whatever. So I usually get it pretty quick though.
Yeah.
Usually, like as soon as I can center myself and really humble myself completely, I say it's not even my song. I like say, "Dear God, please reveal your song."
Yeah.
And I say it's your song, not my song. I don't even take credit for it. I'm like,
Prince and Michael Jackson both talked about a similar thing.
Oh, really?
They felt like their best material was kind of given to them.
Yeah.
And Michael Jackson would do a thing where he would try to wake up, and if he had an idea for a song, he would want to record it right away before he apparently said before Prince got it. There was they had like a spiritual competition for inspiration that they both kind of talked about.
Yeah, it's definitely spiritual. Yeah, that's kind of what I was inspired. So I try to teach that with an 8-step process in my book.
That's come up in the UAP disclosure conversation that I spent a lot of time on YouTube, is that Ross Coulthart was just saying something yesterday about there are people throughout history who claim that great innovations of theirs were just given to them in their brain, kind of whole.
Like the periodic table from a dream.
Yeah, exactly.
From a dream.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, people describe that exact kind of phenomenon, right?
Yeah.
And it's tons of things that are well documented that people have said. They kind of Paul McCartney said that about Yesterday. He said a lot of his songs, he can account for the time he spent working it out, like you see in the Get Back documentary, for example, kind of jamming on it and working it out. But Yesterday, he kind of woke up and had it in his head, and he went to the piano, and it was all kind of just ready to go. So he feels like he can't take credit for that because he doesn't remember really putting it together. He kind of woke up and it was in his head, and he went to the piano and he said, "This is great." And it was kind of like an angel left it in his brain. So that's great. That's definitely something.
I tried to do that. I'm not saying I'm
well, and that's the thing. All you can do, especially if you really have experienced and thus can truly believe that kind of stuff happens, that you can't force it because it's not up to you. You're the weakest link in the equation. And so all you can do is make yourself available to it and try to welcome it into the space and volunteer yourself to contribute your efforts.
So besides the rehearsal space and the ebook, I'm also doing song coaching.
Right, we talked about that a little bit.
So I just beefed up my website too. Dan-C-Roth has a song coaching tab. So I just beefed that up, and actually have all my old song coaches ebooks, because when it was during COVID, I took all these lessons from a teacher online. His name was Kappa Freeman. He quit doing it since because he has kids and stuff. Had to get a job.
Yeah, things were reopened and whatnot.
Yeah. He wasn't able to sustain that as a full-time job. He has a family and stuff. So, but I kind of took over his duties, and I have all this. He made sure to send me all of it. He said I could reteach everything. So far, I just summarized this one audio book on my song coaching page on my website. Along with I also have affirmations about songwriting that I made. Some of them I made with AI, but that's the only time I've ever used AI. I've never used AI to write a song, just to make affirmations.
We were talking about that last night a little bit, that I think we're already seeing certain elements of AI's takeover of the media space have sort of disgusted enough of the population that like DIY guys like us are kind of in vogue. Like people are looking for people that make all their kind of own stuff and have like you mentioned, completely AI-free music is something you have to specify now.
All my music's completely AI-free.
Me too, absolutely.
I've never used it for actual music, but I made affirmation. Like
2026, I think, is the first year we have to specify
I have
that.
a female voice talking.
Yeah.
But the first affirmation I ever made was me talking.
Yeah.
That actually sounds better than all the AI jokes.
Yeah, that happens a lot too. That it's a lot of it's wobbly enough still that you kind of recognize that kind of.
No, I was surprised how perfect it was when I made the AI affirmations.
Put it in an uncanny valley sense that it doesn't quite strike as real.
You can tell it doesn't. It's not real yet.
Right.
If you really want to get.
Yeah, it may sound really clean and totally fine, but
it loses the human element.
Yeah, but you're like, I've never met a lady that talked like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Ma'am, what is your accent? Or what is your perfect lack of accent?
Movie English.
You don't have one syllable that's weird at all? How does that? That's unnatural. Don't lie to me. I can always tell.
But they're still getting some listens. I've listened to a couple of them recently, so yeah, on Spotify of my own. But my best one's the one I did myself. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So looking on the horizon, do we have any gigs on the horizon we're plugging?
No, actually, I don't.
DanCroth.com then is where you update those there.
Dan-C-Roth.
Right.
Otherwise, it looked like Dan Croft.
Right. Oh, yeah. Dan/C dash.
C dash, not slash, but dash.
Did I say slash?
You did.
We were talking about Guns N' Roses. It was on the brain.
Oh, okay.
When Conan was on TBS, every time they would put a website on the screen, instead of the slash, they would put a little picture of slash.
Oh, okay.
The man. Dan-C-Roth.com, and the reason
jam-packed full of stuff.
Yeah,
and
between the
shows will be up there.
Ebook, full wave, lossless quality of all of the music, including the new stuff we heard today. Dates as they appear on the horizon.
Free downloads,
brother. I mean, people aren't just doing that like they used to do. I have an iPod Classic, the last one they made, the 7th gen. And you could put whole HD movies on that Mamra Jammer.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
I have an iPod.
I have misplaced one of my iPads. I used it at a Kids Row gig like a month ago, and it's either in my car or I think the baby pushed it under the couch or something. I gotta lift the couch up. I bet you it's under there. Because Find My iPhone is no, your iPad's definitely at the house. Last time it was on, it was at the house, and it was that day I got back from that gig. I'm like, well. Where though? You know what I mean?
What was before the iPods? Just now.
What were we talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, the free downloads.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you download a bunch of full resolution WAV files from regional or local artists or independent artists that you support, a great place to put them is a place where you can listen to them in their full quality, like an iPod Classic.
I was realizing that me putting all this energy, I got my first tip on my website. There's a digital tip jar with my Venmo and my Cash App and stuff.
I'm like that. I was talking to them about that on the.
I finally got a tip on there. It was really cool.
Just to even know that it works. I mean, because I started putting my tip in my tip thing in my link tree for my weekly trivia game, and for a month I was like, I think it's supposed to work, because nobody knew about it yet, because it was a new feature that we and so finally it was it works. Oh my god, open up the floodgates, let it rain over me. That's one of those things you're like, is anybody out there? I had that guy I was talking to earlier one time was mad because he's like, nobody has bought a t-shirt on my website. It has to not be working. There's no way nobody has bought a t-shirt. I'm like, wait, hold on, we have to have other evidence that it's not working. Just because we haven't sold any yet doesn't mean people even know about it. That doesn't mean it's broken. But sometimes it feels I'm
realizing
a literal, is this thing on?
Waiting for gigs and stuff, the way to get them is just to practice at home. It as soon as you start making the energy and doing every little detail you can, I don't have too much to do every day because I'm just a musician, so I'm if I just practice daily or keep up with stuff, as soon as I start putting in that little extra effort, I don't really technically have anything to do, but there's plenty I can do.
There's plenty you could be doing.
And once you start doing all the little things, cosmically, people start paying attention. They start realizing you're doing your best.
Yeah.
They want to support you all the time.
I love that. That's great.
So they can notice before you even post anything about it or anything. They can just they feel different about you all of a sudden. You know what I mean? It's weird how that works. Yeah.
We're approaching the end of our hour here, so that's why I wanted to make sure to plug the things. This is so easy for us to do. I'm sure this is not the last one of these we'll end up doing in here. But website will be linked below. Dan-C-Roth.com, JacobV.com, Patreon.com/JacobV, Caddyshack of New Hamel, Illinois. Save a life or 9. We'll see you next week.
Sounds good, Jacob. That was awesome. We did pretty good.
I thought it was really nice.
That was better than last time.
Really natural.
I was